Cool. So today's training is about visualization, and it is proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that visualization and swimmers, it goes together like bread and butter. Okay. There's tons of research that proves that visualization is one of the most effective tools for swimmers and athletes in general. And why it works so well, I'll show you in a second. Just check out that awesome shirt that I got yesterday. Was Father's Day, at least in Switzerland. My wife and I guess my 6-month-old daughter gave me that as a gift. I love it. So all the fathers out there, happy Father's Day. You're awesome. And so why visualization works so well is, like, think about it. What's the difference the biggest difference between animals and human beings? Okay, think about it. Do animals have emotions? For sure, right? You would see dogs be happy and sad. Do they have thoughts? Yes, they do, just not at a sophisticated level that we human beings do, right? But what they don't have, at least as far as we're aware of, they don't have the ability to imagine things, to visualize things, right? And what visualization really is, the gift of imagination that we human beings have, is like we can literally look into the future. Okay, and this is why it's so powerful. And I'm going to share my screen here. I prepared this Google Doc. If you want that, by the way, just drop me a comment below and I'm happy to send it to you. So 5 tips to visualize success in competition like Michael Phelps. Okay, this is straight from the book, Michael Phelps, Coach Bowman, the tips that they use. And I think if it's good enough for him, it'll be good enough for your child. All right. And so these are 5 tips. You don't need to implement all 5 of those to be like, it's just important that you get started. Okay. And so here is something really important. Okay. Why visualization works so well. And it only does if you go through all the tips, especially tip number 5. So you want to stay, you know, the training is going to be at like over in 10 minutes. So make sure you watch the whole training and make sure you check out tip 5. And again, if you want the Google Doc, just let me know in the comments and I'm happy to send it to you. So why it works so well? Because of these 3 things here. Okay. The subconscious mind, this is supposed to be number 1 here. All right, just imagine this is 1. The subconscious mind only learns through repetition. All right. Any skill, anything that you're good at in life, you have learned through repetition. True or false? Tell me anything that you're good at in your life that you have not learned through repetition. Okay. This is the key. You got to understand that. Number 2 is the subconscious mind cannot reject an idea. Your conscious mind can always reject an idea. If I call you an asshole, you can say, no, David, I don't believe that, right? And you shouldn't, okay? But you can reject an idea. The subconscious mind cannot reject an idea. Think about kids or like babies, when they grow up, a kid if I was growing up in Japan, I couldn't be like, oh, no, I'm not speaking Japanese. I'm speaking Swiss German, right? It's like whatever the baby is exposed to, it will be imprinted in the baby. Okay. So because the babies don't have a conscious mind yet. So it's a wide open you can literally like imagine like a bowl, open subconscious mind, and all the impressions just go in there. The subconscious mind cannot reject an idea. And then thirdly, the subconscious mind does not know the difference between what's real and what is vividly imagined. Okay. So and think about this. The kids are so good, and we adults too. We are so good at imagining the worst case scenario, right? The kids go through the start list for the competition. I was like, oh my God, there's this 2-year younger kid who's beating me right next to him. Oh my God, I'm going to be so embarrassed. They're so good at that. So imagine if they could be as good as they are in imagining the worst case, they could be imagining the real case if it was that vivid. Okay. That's a superpower to have. So here we go. Tip number 1. Okay. We'll just make this, so you want to start the relaxation technique you want to start with a relaxation technique to prime yourself for visualization. Okay, this is super important because if it's just another thing on your to-do list or on the kids' to-do list, it's not going to be powerful enough. So to make it as real as possible, clearing your mind is step number 1. Okay, and you can do that by getting into a calm and relaxed state. And the easiest way to do it, my favorite, is to do it in the evening, to lay down, to close your eyes, and then relax your body just kind of limb by limb, and start with the head and work your way to the toes. And once you're relaxed, okay, you can put in the videotape, as Michael Phelps calls it, of your ideal performance. Okay. And the pro tip is you can focus on your breathing and it'll relax you too. I mean, just make sure you breathe like slowly. Okay. And so his coach Bowman is saying, once you put yourself in a relaxed state, it's like watching a movie. Okay. Why this was so like particularly powerful for Phelps was because he had ADHD, or still has, I don't know. And so he couldn't focus, right? And I think a lot of kids and teenagers with like TikTok and Instagram, there's a lot of distractions. So it's really important that they get in a relaxed state first. So that's why I put it first. Number two is you want to use different perspectives when you're visualizing. Okay. So there's lots of ways to do visualization and to improve it and make it better, but changing the perspective is one of them that you can use. Okay. And you can think of it like the camera position, that where the camera is basically situated or positioned in your swimming movie or the kids swimming movie. So you can watch yourself from the pool deck, kind of what the coach would see. You can watch from the stands, what the parents would see. You can watch from TV where it like zooms in and out and has like different angles, or you can watch from the, and this is the most powerful, from like the first person through your own eyes, right? It's like a, said here, like a first person shooter game. Sorry for the reference. But you know, like a lot of kids actually do play Call of Duty and whatnot. So they'll resonate with that. And then imagine things like goggles fogging up a little bit, the splashing around your water, you know, and then also like a really good sensation is like the lactic acid that's kind of burning in arms and legs. All right. So tip number three is you want to prepare all scenarios. So I didn't know this until I stumbled upon the book like years ago. So the big race at the end of the year rarely goes as planned. No matter how well you prepare and how hard you work, things never unfold exactly as you anticipate. And this is obviously true, right? Somebody could swim faster than you, the meet could run late, you don't have time to do warm up or warm down, whatever. And so what Phelps did is like he would visualize things going well, going poorly, and of course the best case scenario, okay? And then these rehearsals will make you calm and ready for whatever happens in competition. And Phelps is saying that when I would visualize, it would be what you want it to be, what you don't want it to be, and what it could be. You're always ready for whatever comes your way. Okay. Then moving on to tip number four, make your visualizations as real as possible by engaging all your senses. Okay. And how are you actually going to do that? What you don't want to do is like, you don't want to just focus on the mindset that you have while you're swimming, even if it's at your ideal race, or you don't want to only focus on the pain or only on the PB, you know, that you see on the display when you touch the wall. What you do want to do is you want to imagine the details, like the cold water on your, for the boys, right, on your shaved skin, maybe even the girls. Like imagine the rubber of the goggles, like pushing against your eyes, right? These are the details that the kids know, or the silence between when they get up on the blocks and where it's, you know, where it's go time. Okay, all these things. And what research has found is that when we incorporate these little things, it will generate credibility for the brain, right? And the brain will buy into it and it will be more real, more powerful, and get better results. Okay, it's super important. And again, Bowman here is saying the key to visualization is that it has to be very vivid, because again, the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's vividly imagined. Vividly imagined. Okay, cool. And then number five is that hit your visualization training like you would any other aspect of your training. Okay, and that means repetition. And that's what I started out with, is like it will not work if you do not use repetition. So visualization is not a magic wand to swim new PBs. It's only effective when it's done consistently and repeatedly. And actually to the point where when you get up on that block, your brain has the calm sensation of having been there many times before. And as Bowman puts it in the book, it has to be rehearsed many, many times. By the time Michael Phelps gets up on the blocks to swim in the world champs or the Olympics, he swum that race hundreds of times in his mind before he gets up there. Okay. And it makes sense because there's no skill in the world that you're good at that you have not learned through repetition. And athletes, swimmers, they usually get it because I tell them it's like, it's the exact same thing as practicing your turns and your starts, right? And visualization, usually it's 5 minutes a day and I'll do the job. So it's probably 5 minutes of the most that will have the highest return on their time investment. Think about like how much time they waste and we waste. Okay. I'm not like judging, but also like in training, you know, you could add another half hour, another hour of the training. It will not be as powerful as doing this, because again, it's a mental rehearsal and they are not, you know, they're not physically getting exhausted from that. They're seeing success and it's a skill, like it's a really powerful skill. Okay. So that's it. And if you guys want to want me to personally help you with your kid. At the moment, I'm super, super full, but you know, I think there's a couple spots open. So if you want, you can just click that button, book a call with me, and I'll be happy to help you and your kid. Okay. So see you on the next one. Have a great week. Bye.